Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel, Huub Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we go on with a course on different chords and functions in E major. And that's the second course. The first course was on E minor. And today we are talking about the relative minor in major tonality. So the relative minor chord. In German we say it's like the tonic parallel. And it is C sharp minor. And this chord is very much related to the minor tonality actually. So I will not really go into detail much with that chord, because if you watch the E minor course, you already it's actually like in a way what I would tell you now with the C sharp minor. It's actually like a kind of a almost complete repeat of that, but instead of E minor we have C sharp minor, because as you know the major key and the relative minor, or the minor key and the relative major key, they are like really like really connected, you know. And so when I'm in E major and I'm going to this relative minor key on the 6th degree, the C sharp minor in E major, very easily I can, in a way, I can change my key center. So it's very easy to slip in a way to this minor tonality, and vice versa. It's maybe even stronger to when you are in C sharp minor, for example, to go to the relative major key, and then when you stay a little bit there, then it can very easily become your new key. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you that it's really related, and when you download the PDF, down in the description below you find the link as usual. Then you see that's actually kind of just in a way a transposed version of the E minor, when we talked about the E minor tonality. Okay, so I don't explain much here with this PDF, because it's all written there, and by now I think you know that stuff. These symbols also for 4-part and 3-part structures. And the natural scale actually of C sharp minor in the context of the E major tonality is Aeolian. So when you have, let me just play this E major tonality again, that our ear is there. Okay, so now when we go to C sharp minor, yeah, so we have an Aeolian sound. And we can really easily go if we do this pure Aeolian thing, actually, it's like we it's much easier that our ear is not don't lose the E major tonality, actually, because we do not really we do not have the we are not really confirmed. We can't really confirm the C sharp minor tonality, because we miss our leading tone to C sharp minor. But that is actually something what's happening when we add the secondary dominant for C sharp minor. So G sharp dominant 7th. Then suddenly we have a new note. We have this B sharp. Yeah, and I do the same thing what I just did, but then I'm at the end of my C sharp Aeolian playing. I confirm the C sharp minor tonality by just briefly play this leading tone. So E major again. Yeah, you now in a way we have to really do something that our ear gets back to this E major tonality. So yeah, so if, in the moment we do that, it's in a way it really sounds like a kind of an ending in minor suddenly. And what we are doing here actually, if we just in the E major scale just change the B to B sharp, we immediately have this harmonic minor fifth mode dominant scale here. So we have so that's really almost completely inside the E major tonality, but just one note changed. But of course, it's a very important note we changed, because when we change the B to the B sharp, we don't have a B anymore. So in a way, we lose a bit our confirmation for this E major tonality. So that's also maybe a reason why it's so easy to when we show this dominant secondary dominant for the C sharp minor, so we show this B sharp, then we easily get lost of our original key, this E major key. And what I like, I mean, it's always with these functions and scales and progressions. I'm really I mean my approach, or one of my approaches you can say is a very important approach, which is more linear. And very often the question for me is how can I move from one chord to the next, or which note or which notes are really in a way almost opening the door for the next chord. And I found out in a way that when I'm playing an E major and I show my A, like I have when I'm I mean E major chord, and I show this A, this is a lot of tension. Actually, that's kind of the most tension, most dissonance you can get on an E major chord or tonality, the fourth degree. So that gives me really tension and gives me really the feeling I want to move. And then I, in a way, I opened the door there, and I can show this G sharp dominant sound and then resolve it to C sharp minor very easily. I'll show you. Yeah, so I go to A, and then I can play this. Yeah, so in a way, all these notes here, these notes are all like a kind of a G sharp Phrygian if I don't play the B sharp. But I show this B sharp very, yeah, it's very subtle in a way. But you hear, oh, this atmosphere, the mood and the direction, the tendency really changed. You know, something else is going on here. Yeah, and now when I'm on the C sharp minor and I play a little bit on the C sharp minor, I can because it's like also a secondary tonic. I can show my B sharp for a while, and then that's also written on the PDF. Then actually this is the more distant scale choice when you are in E major is C sharp harmonic minor. So on that spot where I just show you. There I can also play C sharp harmonic minor and still are not sinking out of the key of E major, because I can also very easily I can come back. Of course, when I again show the B instead of the B sharp. So when I play my E major. Yeah, so I went to the B, and the B really nice resolves to the E, or this passage, because it's a da di da 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 ba da. It's a perfect fifth, and the tendency is to resolve. It has a strong gravitational pull to the low E. Okay. Yeah, you can. I mean, you can play all these different scales, of course, for this secondary dominant of the C sharp minor chord here. And also, there's a possibility, of course, always every time you have a dominant seventh chord, you can also think or play the tritone substitution. As I said in previous lessons, I'm not such a big. I mean, like tritone substitution is something I do not really use too much in my music, but it's like when I play jazz, for example, that's a very very frequently used and typical thing, and it's a very common thing. So it's also good to talk about that, of course, here. The tritone substitution of G sharp dominant seventh going to C sharp minor is D7, D dominant seventh, and the scale you normally use, almost always use for the tritone substitution is Mixolydian sharp 11, and this D, the root of this tritone substitution. And also the third, so the chord tones, root and third, they actually suggest very, quite strong a minor dominant. So the dominant is B, and this in this case like a B minor dominant. That's also like a thing we can have in E major, to have a minor dominant. In a way, you can also say it's like what I talked in the last lesson on the dominant and its its secondary dominant. I talked about taking chords from the parallel minor key. So in E major, also use chords from E minor. And in E minor, Aeolian, natural minor scale, you have also B minor. But actually that's a different story. That's a topic for another lesson. Just for now, I'll show you how I maybe would play this secondary, this tritone substitution going to C sharp minor. I go from E major again. So actually what I'm doing what I'm doing here is not what maybe you normally commonly do, but I show this tritone substitution as a kind of a different color, and I let it more behave like a different color, and not too much in this strong sense of it has a strong pull to resolve to C sharp minor. It's more like a color, and for me it really has this association also there with a minor dominant. So in a way I have to do something to that the listener that you hear now this will resolve actually to C sharp minor. And the way I'm doing that is just briefly show my G sharp dominant 7th chord. And actually one of the most important things here when I show this G sharp dominant 7th chord, I show this D sharp because the D sharp is not anymore in D Mixolydian sharp 11. So I have, that's Mixolydian sharp 11. Then so just by showing this D sharp suddenly, and I use the notes before of D Mixolydian sharp 11. They are all in D Mixolydian sharp 11, and these notes are also in G sharp harmonic minor 5th mode, or G sharp Phrygian, of course. But then when I show this D sharp, in a way I completely cancelled out the D the D root, or the tritone substitution, or you can also say this minor dominant feel. Yeah, I have the D sharp suddenly, and I resolve this D sharp by showing just a little bit. Yeah. Also, the C sharp is also not in D, in D Mixolydian sharp 11. So, in a way, you can say this D sharp cancels out. Oh man, I can tell you so much stuff about that. It's very very interesting actually to really go into the detail about all these things. You know, there's another thing actually. When I do that, I have a half step here, E, D sharp, and that also means very strong that I will not have also a D, because a D, that's chromatic, and actually chromatic I'm using very little in my music. I'm not a big fan of chromatic, but of course in jazz that's a very typical used thing, chromatic approach and all these chromatic lines and chromatic syncing and outside playing and whatever. But I'm actually quite tonal, diatonic thinking person. And so when I have this E and I show this D sharp, so I have these two notes, it really cancels out the D. But it opens, of course, the door for C sharp. And yeah, so the D sharp cancels out the D as a root. And then but it opens also another door to C sharp, and then I'm actually already on the root of C sharp minor, where I actually want to go. But to really confirm this C sharp minor, I'm showing a little bit of the dominant, of the G sharp dominant seventh, because that's really makes this C sharp minor very clear, and also the root progression of the perfect fifth upwards, or perfect fourth upwards, or perfect fifth downwards. That's really strong, indicating now I'm on a resting place. I'm on my target or goal, or a temporary tonic goal, target, whatever. I show you this again, like that you can listen to what I just said with words. Okay, that's yeah. That way of playing, actually, I really wanna go there with that chorus. I mean, not too much playing like all these triads in a standard way. although we will do that later. Actually, we will do all these, or I have a lot of voice leading examples of these more maybe classical progressions, and I collected very nice ways for them. But in this course now, I'm thinking more in the linear way, more in this makam raga kind of a way, and there it's really important when I change notes, when I change temporary roots, how to approach them. And that's actually really interesting because, of course, all that stuff is also valid when I play chords or when I play like any kind of a style. You know, I mean, when I know this note will open the door to that chord, it's very likely that that is the same in all tonal music, like in jazz, classical music, folk music. Western music. But in the focus on this linear approach really makes this very, very obvious and very clear. Because when I already play all these chords, these voicings, these harmonic vertical structures, there are so many informations, and maybe you're not really quite conscious about how the single notes in a chord actually want to behave. So that's something you with that approach, what I'm doing here with this more linear approach, you have to consider these movements. Because you play a certain note and then you think, this didn't sound good when I change now the chord or go to that note. And that is something it's not so obvious when you play all these harmonic structures. All right, I think I talked enough about that. Just print out the PDF. It also helps, of course, to support my channel. And I think we will go on with this course a bit more quicker because I assume that you already worked on the E minor course. So I will actually more go into the little things. What is maybe new, in this context with the next chords, with the next secondary dominants, the next techniques. So I will not explain you the whole thing again, because actually what I just said at the beginning, it is really, in a way, this page is in a way like kind of a transposition from E minor to C sharp minor, from the actually E minor tonality to the relative minor of E major. So these two sounds are very, very connected and similar. Okay, so print it out or watch it on your computer. It's better for environment, of course. And that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching, and please, if you want to support this channel, you can also, beside downloading the PDF for this small fee, you can also donate. You can go to my website, hupildenbrand.com. There you find a button where you can donate. Yes. And anything else? No, I think that's it. So thanks for watching. My name is Hupildenbrand.